nation, the American Revolution. Oh, we the people here decree, we've the right to life and liberty. We're all created.
Hi, my name's Diane. You're watching the Just Kidding Around show. Each week, we introduce our home viewers to different crafts and hobbies that can be enjoyed by the entire family. This week, we are thrilled to be welcoming Adam Lee. Hi, Adam.
Thank you for having me back again.
Yes, and this is, I think, your fourth time on our show.
4 times.
That's right. And in the meantime, of course, he's been on Larry King and Martha Stewart. He's been in the White House. You even did an Oscar party.
Yeah, Oscar parties, and now I get to torture you for a little bit.
Yeah, and you're in the Guinness Book of World Records. Or was it the Guinness Book or it was Ripley's Believe It or Not? That's what it was.
Ripley's Believe It or Not,
Yeah.
and I'm attempting a world record. So
And you're
I
going
may
for a
be.
little bit? Are you going to tell them about the spider you're going to do, or is that kind of a...
You'll have to go to Great Wolf Lodge.
He's making a gigantic spider for Great Wolf Lodge, right?
Yes, ma'am.
I'll have to go down there just to see it. I haven't been to that place, but I'd go there to see your spider. How big's the spider going to be?
It's going to be 45 feet long, made by one man. So I might be bald if you see me because I'll be pulling my hair. But I'm going to have spider web. There's going to be... It's not just the spider that I'm making. I'm taking over all of Great Wolf Lodge.
Oh my gosh. So I can come down there and videotape it?
Yes, you may.
Maybe we'll do a show later about that. I got to see that. Wow. To make a 45-foot spider? Have you done that before?
Not to that scale. It's going to be heavy, it's going to be big, and it's going to be magnificent.
Is it going to bite? Going to be poisonous?
I'm working on animation.
Wow.
So let's
keep your fingers crossed.
Yeah, it's.
He does animated balloon figures that are made to scale.
Yes.
And I've seen them. Amazing detail. Things that take hours and hours to do. Obviously,
Yes,
the
ma'am.
spider will. So what are you going to do for us today?
Okay, so the last time I was on your show, I taught simple balloons. So this is kind of 2.0 or slightly more complicated. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make a simple version of something, which is still kind of complicated, and then I'm going to make it more complicated. So if, once again, if you guys want to videotape this, go for it.
Yes.
And then pause it, and I'm going to try and show you with my hands so you can kind of see what I'm doing. So let's get the supplies out here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make a motorcycle. And this motorcycle, the first one is going to be the simple version, so it's going to be one color. And then I'm going to do a complicated version where it actually has black tires. And I'll explain everything as I'm doing it. So let's just... Okay, so you want to blow up the balloon, probably about halfway, or with maybe a good 5-inch tail. And I'll just go ahead and re-explain this if some of you people didn't see the last episode. You want to leave the tail so the air can expand. The air expands anyway. So every time I twist, the air is going to be pushed further down, and it's going to take up that extra tail. So we're going to make a motorcycle. So how you start with this is with the tire, of course. So you make a 1-inch bubble. And then what we're going to do is just kind of a loop twist. So you have 2 balloons. So you'll kind of recognize this, so it looks like the simple dog head, except the face would be really short. And all we're going to do to make it a tire is we're going to loop it kind of halfway through. So it has a nice round look to it. Then we're going to grab probably about a good 4 inches. And this is where it's going to get complicated because you have to make a lot of balloons before you actually twist them together. So we made a 4-inch bubble, 1-inch bubble, 1-inch bubble, 1-inch bubble, 1-inch bubble, 1-inch bubble. Complicated, I know. Okay, so then you just twist that around. So you ought to have this little circle-looking thing, almost like the bear head we did on the previous show. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab the second bubble, and we're going to twist it. And then there's another bubble over here, the odd guy, out, and we're going to twist it the exact same. So right now, we have the front of a bike. So you can kind of see what I'm going for. So I like to make a little headlamp. So we'll just do a 1-inch bubble. And then I'm going to do something kind of tricky. I'm holding all the balloons back, and then I'm going to grab and just ear twist that. This gives the bike better balance, and well, I'm just picky anyways. So then probably about a 2-inch bubble, 1-inch bubble, and you can vary the lengths of this a little bit, so you might have a longer body or a shorter body. So you can have elongated choppers, whatever, so it doesn't matter. However much you have left, just use that length of balloon. So all you do is you loop it over, twist it, and you have a little bike. So there is a...
That's a chopper if I ever saw one.
So
that is a chopper.
Now what we're going to do
There
is...
is from the front. What a neat thing to blow for maybe a boy's birthday party, if that's the theme. Motorcycle theme. Of course, a girl could have a motorcycle theme, too.
Oh, I've had a lot of princess motorcycles. Makes the
They'd have to
daddies
be
proud.
pink, maybe? Now, you said that it could be stable, so is it going to stand?
I didn't do a kickstand on it, so...
Oh, you do kickstands so they can stand up sometimes?
Okay, so now I'm going to make the complicated version of this. So we'll need 2 balloons. What's going to make this complicated is we're going to actually do the tires. So I'm going to go with the Harley-Davidson colors. And I'm going to do a twist that, I'm not going to say it's dangerous, but it could hurt you if you do it wrong.
Oh, should I move aside?
No. It would hurt the twister if they do it wrong.
Okay.
It's called a pop twist. So I am going to be popping the balloon, and I'm going to be holding it, and you have to tie it off. So it's complicated. And if you are learning how to do this, you won't want to start doing that twist. So just grab a pair of scissors or something to do that. So we started with an ear twist with the orange balloon, and that's going to serve as the first little bubble I made. So it's going to be this part right there.
Did you call it ear twist?
Yeah, because
E-A-R?
it looks like the
Okay.
ears on the bear and pigs and all that type of stuff that I make. So we're just going to do the loop. So it's just going to be like the beginning of the balloon. Except now we have this weird looking black piece coming out that wouldn't make sense if we left it.
Cut it off.
So what you would normally do is you just cut it off. But what you want to do is, so you would cut it and save that. I don't want to be hitting my mic.
So you just pulled that off and it just broke off. And
Yeah.
you made a new balloon out of it.
That's it's a very useful trick to have, and it's actually a pretty big time saver.
To be able to make your separate balloon. Okay.
Okay, so now from here on, just for time's sake, I'm not going to explain the whole bike again because it's the exact same twists except at the very end, and then I'll explain that.
Remember, you have permission to tape this and replay it and put it on pause. Also, at the end, in the ending credits, you will see a way to contact Adam. I believe it's adamlee.net.
Yes, ma'am.
And can they feel free to email you and ask any questions? Adam Lee, L-E-E, adamlee.net.
Okay, so now since we didn't make tires with the orange, we have this ridiculous looking long piece. So what you would do with that is you would use the scissors or needles or whatever to pop off the part you don't need. We need a 1-inch bubble to serve as the center part for the wheel. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get rid of this.
So you just pull it off and tie.
So right now we have well, I guess someone had a blowout. So now we take the piece or the balloon that we popped before and saved, and you just wrap it around. You don't really have to tie a knot. Just a few times and it ought to be pretty secure. And at this point you would just cut it or get rid of it because we aren't going to use that balloon anymore. So then you just tie off the black balloon and you hide the ugly little tie end and loop the tire through. So there is a complicated version.
Yeah, I like this one better. I don't know. What do the kids like? They have a preference?
They usually like the
two-tone.
The two-tone.
And then you even put a kickstand on it so it can stand up.
I can actually do that right now.
That wouldn't take too long? How do you put a kickstand on it?
And if you want kickstands,
yeah, I could see a kid at a birthday party loving these.
so what you do is you can just cut off a balloon halfway with a pocket knife or whatever. So all you really need is you need that much of a balloon. So all it's going to do is it's just going to serve as a kickstand so the balloon doesn't fall over. So there we go. And some people, it kind of depends where you want it. I like the kickstands in the back. I've seen them in the front. It doesn't really matter. This is more for displaying it. And then that should be able to balance decently.
Oh, wow. Look at that. There it is with this kickstand. Oh, that's a good shot. I'm going to move it that way, though.
There we go.
There it is.
Okay.
Standing on its own kickstand. Now I'm going to put it this way in case they want to get, I'll put that for Bruce's camera to show how that.
And now,
that kickstand, can you see that over there?
I realized that we forgot to do something. It's a staple balloon. Like this is something you always learn at any balloon class, last episode. And it's the belly boppers or swords. And you can make different versions of those also. So I'll make the simple version and then I'll make a complicated version as well. The simple version is one balloon, and my simple sword's kind of complicated. It's not the one you would learn at the basic class. Let's do green.
What'd you say you're doing? I'm over here trying, a sword?
I am doing a sword.
I'm sorry, Adam. I'm over here, I want to make this one stand up too.
Okay, so with this one, with the sword, you probably need this is about a 2.5-inch tip. So you just want to grab it so as big as your hand is. For me, that's about 4 inches. And then you do a 1-inch bubble and you just twist it around. So you have something that looks kind of like an L. And this is where it's going to get kind of complicated. And these can come undone if the kids play with them a lot.
How many colors of balloons do you have?
Oh, I have a lot more than what you guys are seeing here.
Is that right? Wow.
So what I did here is I did 4 1-inch bubbles, and with the tie end, I'm just going to loop it around that last little section right here. so you guys can see it, I'm wrapping it around, and then I'm gonna loop it through the hole right here.
Oh, this is a fancy sword.
So that kind of locks it into place where the twists aren't gonna come undone. And what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna work on kind of the balance of the sword. So probably about a 2-inch bubble, 1-inch bubble, 2-inch bubble. And then you just do that little twist right there. And then you do the exact same thing again. So 2-inch bubble, 1-inch, 2-inch, and you're gonna twist it. So, swords are not all that complicated, and I like this because it's thumbs free, so the kids can.
Oh, so you can actually look at the handle. The hand just slips in there. I bet somebody could get a lot of use out of that.
Well, they
At a
can't
birthday
text and
party?
drive, but they can text and kill now.
Oh. I'm glad you thought that was funny.
I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah. But look at how
Well, you can protect too.
But look how ornate that sword is. I mean, really. My goodness.
Now it's time
How
for.
fun at a birthday party. They would just go crazy with that.
The funny thing about birthday parties is
Or fun on a TV show.
mostly the boys go for what is harm, destruction, kill, death, gory, and the girls normally go for the more complicated, cool-looking balloons. Boys just want something they can kill and hit with.
I don't know. I saw you make a big truck. What do you call it?
Monster truck?
A monster truck for kindergarten once.
Okay.
You can make anything. It's amazing. You can ask him. One time a kid asked you to make a basketball net. You did that.
Basketball with a hoop,
it's
yeah.
amazing the thing. One kid said, well, I want an eagle. It's just like that. You just make these things.
Okay. So with the complicated sword, it's the exact same handle with this, except I just pop this off and add another color. So I'm
we're
not
going to
gonna
use this then.
Yeah, I'm not gonna explain how to redo the handle. I'm just gonna do it quickly for time's sake.
I thought you said you were going to use this handle.
No, I'm gonna.
It's all right. Just show me.
Gonna have a complicated version. So there is that sword, and this would be a simple sword. And if you want to get complex, then you just get rid of that end.
Okay.
So right now you don't have much of a sword. Maybe brass knuckles. I don't know.
Brass knuckles. Huh? Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
So you blow this bad boy almost all the way up. I don't know if you guys can see that. There's just a little tip right there.
You probably just innately know how much to leave. Huh?
Yeah.
Every design has a different amount of air space.
I keep a particular pump with me because I know exactly how much air that pump puts in the balloon per. Yeah. So you can start filling things. So you just want to kind of find the exact center. So I'm going to make a complicated, well, it's not all that complicated, but all we're doing is you just grab the two ends and twist them around. So it's like 2-inch bubbles at each end. Just twist it around. And now I want to find the exact center up top. So let's go.
This is a sword?
This is going to be a sword. So now that we found the exact center, I just want to go a little bit over because I want a 1-inch bubble up top. And when I start twisting it, do you notice what's happening? How it's starting to curve? That's what we want. So you can kind of just grab each one of the balloons, each side of the balloon, and twist it more. And just keep twisting it. And you could feel, since your hands are at both ends of the balloon, you can feel the pressure and you can know when it's starting to stress out a little bit. So that's going to serve as the blade. So now we have these two ends here. And what we're going to do is we're going to loop these two ends through the two ends right here. So you just go around one side right there, force it through one side right there, and then you turn them or switch them, if that makes sense to you guys. And that locks the blade in place. And there is a complicated sword.
Well, let's see. This sword or this sword? Let's see,
And
which one hurts worse? They're both
she took
beautiful. Yeah, I take both. I want to put these on display. Wow. Well, thanks for joining us again. You're amazing. Oh, we have 3 more minutes.
Okay.
So, Mr. Amazing, what are you going to do now?
So what I'll do is I'll just make a complicated version because we don't have time to do the simple and then the complicated. So what I will do, you know what, let's do a pig.
A pig?
A
Okay,
pig.
A pig.
I am biased. If you see me out and I'm balloon twisting, I will probably like you more if you ask for pigs, penguins, or animals I like.
So you balloon twist just in town?
At random events, yeah, they hire me to be there.
I hear you're going to be a keynote speaker in a huge convention in Missouri.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
I am the head speaker for
speaker.
people with disabilities. So I'm going to talk on my disability and how specific learning disability has affected my life. So actually, I was making a bear instead of a pig. Almost the same face, except you start differently. What you want to do is you want to poke your finger in there, and it's kind of hard to explain, but you can see your finger if you hold it up to the light, and then you want to grab where the knot is, or the end of the balloon, and you just want to pull your finger out. I kind of use my pointer fingers in there, so I use the other two to push out. So we have about a 2-inch bubble, 2-inch bubble. We're going to do another 2-inch bubble, 1-inch bubble, 2-inch bubble, 1-inch bubble, 2-inch bubble. So now let's loop it around, and it's just like the bear face where we have the 2 extra pieces. And we twist the ears, but this time,
Oh, that looks like a pig.
we loop it. So there is a little piggy face. And I like to make my pigs a little bit fat, so I go ahead and use 2 balloons on this particular creation. You can twist the body with 1 balloon, but it's not the extra big, plump pig. When you go to the fair, you don't want to see a skinny pig, you want to see the big old...
Fat pig. And you got 2 minutes to make a fat pig.
Yeah. There we go. So pretty much, you can do this with any creation where if you want the creation to be slightly larger, you just pop off the excess of the head and then use another balloon. And it's just a continuation. Because there would have been a twist here anyways.
So instead of a twist, you just connect an entirely
Yeah, so I
different-
just have another balloon. And you could get rid of the ugly tie-ins if that bothers you. I just hide them. So probably about a 4-inch balloon for the legs, 4-inch balloon. Twist it around. And then I do maybe 5 inches. And we're going to do 3 5-inch bubbles. So you wrap it around the legs, and then you loop it back. And that makes a fat little pig body. And then I like pigtails. So to start a pigtail, I have to have a little ear twist right here. So you do a 1-inch bubble. So it looks like you have a 3-legged pig or something. So 4-inch bubble, 4-inch bubble.
Oh, there's a little quirky pig. And you especially like making pigs.
Yeah, pigs are one of my more favorite creations. I am biased.
Why? Do you own a pig?
I used to live on a farm.
That's one.
So there is a little pigtail. I don't know why I like the tails. I like to play with them. But there is a complicated piggy, or it could also
is.
double as a bear if you just got rid of that nose.
Well, thank you for joining us. You do something different every time. And I hope our viewers are able to actually tie some themselves. How old do you think a child should be when they start doing this?
Well, probably I started my very first balloon book. I was 7 and I had no clue what I was doing.
Oh, okay, so you got to be older. It seems like just to keep all those things in your hands, you have to have a good sized hand because I can't keep up with all
I
that.
have a friend, I think she was 12 when she started, and
Okay.
she's 18 now.
All
So almost a teenager, because I think you can grasp the concepts a little bit better too
Okay.
in your teen years.
Well, thank you very much. We enjoyed having our guests and, of course,
Thank you
our
very
home
much.
viewers and Adam Lee. Thank you. I want to have you on all the time, so maybe we'll have you on again sometime.
Absolutely.
Have fun making your giant, what is it, 45-foot spider?
45-foot spider.
Okay, I'm going to go down there and see it. I got to film that. Thank you. Goodbye.
In America, and we're going to live here happily in America. Our founding fathers crossed the seas and built the new world colonies. But King George wouldn't set them free, so they fought a revolution, the American Revolution. Oh, we the people here decree we've the right to life and liberty. We're all created equally in America, and we're going to live here happily in America. The English army came in boats. It was buckskin versus bright red coats. Then the Yankees won the war and wrote our country's constitution, the United States Constitution. For we the people here decree we've the right to life and liberty. We're all created equally in America, and we're going to live here happily in America. Through the passing years, the pioneers crossed the frontier without rest. Oh, the land was new when this country grew from the East Coast to the West. Oh, we the people here decree we've the right to life and liberty.